Yes, hi, I'm Gary, and this is Joe. And Joe's been heading up our Super Bowl project. That's SUPER, Super Bowl, held on Super Bowl Sunday. And why don't you take it from there and tell us what the Super Bowl is?
So the Super Bowl project, it's a nationwide project. It's called Super Bowl of Caring. And churches and organizations all across the nation come together on Super Bowl weekend to gather money, gather food for food pantries. In our chapter specifically, we gather money by holding pots after worship services, and people donate then. And then later on in the year, when the food pantries are at their biggest need in the summer, we go to a grocery store and we buy large quantities of food and we deliver it to the food pantry. And it's a great influx for the food pantry. They're often very low on certain items. And also, we tend to ask the food pantries ahead of time exactly what they need. So we can deliver lots of whatever they need right then. And it tends to fill a good need for the food pantry.
And so I know this is an all-church project. This is not a youth project. It's a St. John's project. It just happens to be led by a young person, a teenager. Tell me how that plays out. How do you involve the entire congregation?
The entire congregation donates. It's not specifically the youth. We don't go to Sunday school classes or anything targeted specifically. We target the entire congregation. So we do temple talks where we have a youth or perhaps a pastor stand up in front of the congregation and talk about the project to the congregation. We post posters all over the church to encourage people to donate. And it really becomes a whole project. We've gathered large amounts of money because of the generosity of our congregation.
Yeah. Any idea how much money you raised the last year or two?
It was more than $2,000, I know. I'm not sure the exact amount, but it was definitely greater than $2,000.
About $1,000 per year?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know this project began, I think you know this project began by a fifth grader named Olivia about 20-some years ago. And so it's just been going on. It's just been fun for us to watch this, the next person and the next person take this on. And I don't know how much money we've raised for the food pantry, but it had to be $25,000, $30,000 over the years, which is kind of a way cool thing. Yeah, I know the other thing I say a lot is, and I say this probably 15 times a year, but one of my favorite things is going to the grocery store, pairing up those middle schoolers, giving them a clipboard, a calculator, a shopping list, and a pencil, and say, go, and talk about life in the grocery store.
Well, it's sometimes a transition, because when we go to the grocery store, we tend to buy a couple things at a time. A lot of times these middle schoolers don't understand that we are gathering 30, 40, 100 cans of food at a time from each item. So it's kind of a shock. And they come in and they have a blast, just not quite clearing shelves, but getting pretty close to getting carts full of food and going down. There's not much like it.
It's fun to go to the checkout line with 10 carts, and just to monopolize a line.
Yeah, I think sometimes the checkout people are kind of, but it's certainly fun to watch it. And then the receipts. The receipts are sometimes 6 feet long. It's awesome. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Super. Anything else you want to mention about the Super Bowl?
It's one of my favorite projects. It really is. The opportunity to gather that much food and deliver it at a critical time, it really does make a huge difference in the community.
Yeah. Well, I know that St. John's appreciates it, and I know on behalf of the Grove City Food Pantry, I know they appreciate it, and so do the people who obviously are receiving the food. So we appreciate your leadership over the last couple of years, and thanks for all you've done. Good deal.